I'm Dr. Manjunath Palagar, Additional Director Animal Resources from Government of Karnataka Animal Husbandry Department. Actually, the Government of India has taken a brilliant step in inclusion of these animals in the DRR. Earlier, they used to take care of all the public, but now they come to know that what is the importance and role of animals in this DRR. It's a very good workshop to give our comments and the steps what to do with the animals when they are in distress, especially in the flood or in fire or in drought situations. We have in Karnataka, in Government of Karnataka, we have taken so many steps, even though, but there should be a policy in the national level and also in the Government of Karnataka level to take care of all these animals and zoo animals and our pet animals, especially in the disaster cases. So today we are going to take we have to make any presentations and take the policies and what to do, and all will be discussed here. It's a good opportunity for us to present our views and our papers and other things, so that a clear cut policy should come and take care of our animals in this issue.
So I will be dealing with a topic on Kerala flood situation that happened in 2018. Nowhere in the history of Kerala we witnessed such a massive flood. It was in August 2018. All of a sudden the flood came because of the severe rain and also the opening of the shutters of the dams of Kerala caused massive gushing of water through all sides, all roads, through all places. So it caused immediate flood. So normally in a flood, the banks of rivers and the coastal area will become in flood. But in that occasion, everywhere in the districts, 10 out of 14 districts were affected. Since massive flood is there, nobody can go near. People were afraid. They cannot find out the roads, the pitfalls, the wells, the water drainage places. So they have to refrain from doing rescue operation for 2 days. Then with the help of boats, with the help of fishermen, with the help of army, the people entered into the place and started rescuing the people. In the flood, most attention was towards saving the people. So the attention towards animal was the least one. So we had to beg for getting boats. We had to beg for transportation, for fodder, feed to the animals. So with all those difficulties, we managed to save many animals. Only veterinarians, the people working in animal husbandry, the farmers, and only the animal loving people were behind saving those animals. All others were behind saving the human life. So what we understood in flood situation is that it is very difficult to manage once the fury of the nature comes. When fury of nature comes, there is little in the hands of man to counter it, but with the knowledge, with the cooperation, we can alleviate those things.
I am Dr. Joel Kishore. I am Director, Professor and Head of the Department of Community Medicine, and I am associated with NIDM for a long period. Disaster, as you know, is destruction of the environment and human society, and where when we talk about society, the animal are always part of it, and we always neglect the animal component because the focus is always on human being. But they are the one which are a great resource at the time of drought or any other disaster occur. So they should be taken care of. And it has been found that in disaster during that period like flood, a lot of bites occur of animal which lead to morbidity and mortality. So we have to be prepared for it. our health system has to gear up during all kinds of disaster to look after the animal, disease should not occur. So Zoonosis division should get due respect and due importance in all kinds of disaster, which is not there. And there are so many diseases which occur, like in Mumbai, we had leptospirosis. And then we have, because the people drink water which is contaminated, leading to a lot of gastroenteritis. And that disease can come from the animal. So animal has to be looked after. They have to be taken care properly. So animal and other department has to work together, because ultimately neither animal or human being should suffer from disaster, and they should not die. So through this workshop, the focus is that how we have to develop the strategy and planning for reduction of disaster and effect on human and also animal. Thank you very much.
Disaster management is an important area of concern, especially for livestock and animals, because livestock is one sector which is rapidly moving up the economic ladder, meaning thereby people who tend livestock have their incomes more or less steady and growing. The vagaries of nature which affect agriculture, meaning thereby crop production, saves, it does not affect livestock to that extent, though of course there are floods where livestock is also affected, and it is necessary for all of us to come together and include animals. And I am very happy to note that NIDM has organized this meeting today to engage all the stakeholders in this area. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my name is Arindran, and I work with WWF, which is one of the leading international NGO, and we work on the conservation of wildlife in the country. So more about this workshop which I was attending now was on the fire impacts in forest, or in overall also the impact of disaster on wild animals. So my view on the impact of fire as well as the natural disaster on wild animals is like, for an example, we've been saying every year in Kaziranga, where the flood is impacting the wildlife. You can continue. Yeah, impacting the wildlife due to the rise in the water level, where the animals, more than like elephants and rhinos and even all the fauna which is within the Kaziranga has been impacted due to the rise in the water. And the death rates are very high, increasingly every year due to the rise in the the flood. The lot of elephants death and rhinos been like in the calf of rhinos and other vertebrates and invertebrates, they are impacted very highly. It's not only with the flooding, also with the fire which is happening there, like all over the India, wherever the forest fire which is happening, which is caused due to the human interference. So after time, if you see the forest fire, when you go down, once a forest fire is extinguished, when you go there and see, we will see a lot of invertebrates, which is like we can find their the carcasses on in the floor. It's not only impacting the invertebrates, also the seedlings. If you look at the forest species, in the florals, the species, the seedlings, which are the young herbs and shrubs, they are completely burnt. So this is also impacting the long term the forest cover, all the recruitment rate of the forest. So my opinion is that we need to really take a control over it, or rather, once forest fire is totally inevitable, it is going to happen due to the increase in the human pressure in and around the forest protected areas. Let's say not only protected, even outside protected areas, we have a lot of impacts due to the increasing population. So we need to really take immediate measures in controlling them as soon as there is a forest fire happens. After time, the departments keep running. The extent of forest fire sometimes is so much big that they don't have enough manpower or support in the sense to control it. Either they are at one point of the protected area where suddenly if there fire suddenly happens, on the other side they have to rush back. So we need to have enough support from the government to the protected areas. They are well equipped. They are more team, which is especially during the fire season, working exclusively in the protected areas, so that they have enough time and resources so that they can rush and control all the forest fires which is happening in the country.
Myself, Dr. Praveen Bishnoi. I came from Rajwas, Bikaner, and there is a Center for Disaster Management for Animals. And this workshop organized by NIDM is to bring various peoples who are working for the animal welfare during disaster to a common platform. Everybody is working in their own way, but there is lack of coordination between them. There is lack of conversation and exchange of the information between them. So this workshop will definitely help to such peoples to work together, to work in collaboration with each other, and it will be very fruitful, and lot of papers and lot of peoples are discussing the issues, how to save the animals, how to prepare the strategies to reduce the disaster and the risk, the vulnerability of the animals towards the disaster. Because everyone, when disaster occurs, everyone is busy in saving animal in human life and their assets, but very few people they deal with the animals, and also very few people know how to deal with the animals, how to save them, how to transport them, how to rehabilitate them. So this workshop will definitely work in this direction, and lot of such workshops needed to do animal welfare. Thank you.
Okay, so myself, Dr. DT Sharma, serving as a senior veterinary officer in Rajaji Tiger Reserve, Uttarakhand. And I'm very feeling privileged that I have come here to attend this workshop on animal inclusive disaster risk reduction. And this is a very nice initiative because previously disaster was mainly focused on humans, but this is a very nice concept that they are including the animals and treating the animals and human life equally. And the good thing about this workshop is that there are people, the participants, who are from different areas, like wildlife biologists are there, veterinarians are there, forest people are there, and from some non-government organizations, animal lovers, and all kind of people you can think of who love animals and value the animal life are here. So this is the best platform that all of these people can interact and come up with some very good plan for animal inclusive disaster risk reduction. And very good initiative of the department and the government, because you know, everything, whenever it's in the beginning phase, it's all discussion and interaction and exchange of ideas, and it's a kind of zero draft, you can say. Then it has to get the approvals from the government. So without government, it's not possible to become some kind of guideline or policy. So once all the discussions are done here today in the workshop and we come up with a draft, then the government is expected, and I think the motive behind this workshop is the same, that they would come up with a very nice guideline which will include animals in disaster risk reduction. So this is all which I wanted to say, and my best wishes, and I am eagerly waiting for these guidelines to come up. Thank you so much.
As you know that disasters are very common in the country, and India is very vulnerable to various forms of disasters, whether it is human-induced disasters, natural disasters, or now we can say that climate change is also increasing the intensity and frequency of disasters. The impact of disasters is in various sectors, maybe the human beings and our environment, but one sector that is very worst affected and that is having very negative impact on our environment, ecology, and even on the livelihood, that is the animal sector, particularly the cattle in villages where our rural economies dependent is very worst affected. But side by side of our wildlife, that is also being affected by these natural and human induced disasters. If you take the case of zoos, so recently there was a fire in Germany on the eve of New Year, where more than 30 primates were killed by a fire. So these type of disasters may happen. Some zoo specific disasters may be like escape of animals, maybe sometime some man wildlife conflict, maybe there some disease, maybe there sometime a flood, earthquake, fire, forest fire. So these type of disasters also adversely affect not only zoo habitats but also the human being nearby. So there is a need nowadays to have a comprehensive disaster management plan for zoo also. Already that is being taken care by National Zoo Authority and various zoo in the country, but even then that preventions and preparedness measures, that is to be taken care very sincerely. And I think if we make a plan, and as we have developed in Bihar also, that 9-point agenda is there, 9 strategic issues have been taken care, particularly that is mainly what is the strength, what is the capacity, what is the preventive and preparedness measures that is to be taken care, and how the disaster response system is effective. And so these type of issues and these type of strategic areas, if we work on that, then certainly we not only can prevent the casualties of our animals, but even the environment and the habitat living in the zoo and nearby areas. Thanks.
So I am Dr. Lalit Kumar Sharma. I am scientist from Zoological Survey of India, Kolkata, and I am interested in understanding the impact of forest fires on animals. So this is one of the important disasters which is happening in this area in India. Repeatedly, many areas are getting burned, and we are not actually aware of that how many animals are getting impacted. So this under the NIDM, they have organized one-day workshop in Delhi in Ambassador Hotel, where we are here to make a presentation how to assess that impact. So at the Zoological Survey of India, we have a national, under the National Himalayan Studies, we have a project where we are studying the impacts. So we have taken some pilot landscapes to understand the impact. So some certain strategical sites we have selected where we are doing the control and case experiments, and to understand how the animals are impacted. So previously also, before this, it's a pilot study in India, no assessment is available. Of course, there are some information is available which is basically a guesstimate, but exact estimates on animals is not available. So considering this, we are here to make a presentation at a national level, so that the different stakeholders which are here today to share their experience come to know about what ZSI is doing with respect to fauna resource assessment in terms of forest fire impacts.
Start. NIDM, in collaboration with other organizations, has organized a workshop on disaster risk reduction, inclusive of animals. We knew that in every disaster the livestock used to be affected, including the wildlife, but we had not given importance for reduction of risk in animals. This workshop is aptly titled, and there were deliberations on this issue. Many states have shared their experience, and many issues were discussed. Now there is a provision to include this AiDRR in the disaster management plan, and every institution at the district level, that is the DDMAs, will make an action plan addressing the issues discussed here and effectively reduce the risk in animals. The issues were like there was no proper planning, there was insufficient budget, and there was tossing of responsibility between the departments, and there is inefficiency in the available manpower, and all these issues will be addressed in the coming action plan.